Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, students. So today we are we're continuing our algebra lesson. Today we are doing rearranging formula, and simplifying expression. So let's start by rearranging formula. Okay, first and foremost, what you need to know is the equal sign. Okay, the equal sign. Basically, we have kind of a house and also another house in this side. So for for a formula, whenever you are changing the side of where that term is, or in other terms, we are talking about you are going to another house on that side of the house, on that side of the formula. So what we need to do is we need to change the sign of the term. Okay, so the sign of the term always comes in pairs. Okay, so the pairs of signs are, you have plus and minus, you have multiply and divide, and then you have power and root. Okay, so this is the pair. So whenever you want to change, let's say here we have negative. If you want to go on to that side, you need to change that to positive. Let's say if here you have something like multiply, if you go here, you need to make sure it's divide. Okay, so let's do some examples. Let me do an example of a formula. Example number 1. So let's say if we have x squared plus y squared equals to h squared. Okay, this is actually an equation for a circle. Okay, so let's say if we want to make everything in terms of y, so we need to make y the subject. Okay, so we need just y here, and what's that is. Okay, so to do that, we need to rearrange the formula. So let's start by doing y square here. So firstly, we want to change this onto that side. This is a positive. If you go to that side, it's gonna be a negative sign. Okay, so next, what do we need to do? Remember, for a power, the pair is a root. So what we need to do, we need to write a root for that. H square minus x square. Make sure you root everything. Okay, here's an important thing. If you are dealing with roots, make sure if you are doing a root, you add plus or minus. So you need to plus or minus in the front. Why? Because let's say the answer here, inside here, is a positive, is, let's say, 3. So if y is equals to 3, okay, y square is 9. But if y is negative 3, y square is also 9. So the answer could be negative 3 or 3. So that's why we put plus or minus. Okay. Okay. So let's do another example. Let us do an example 2. Okay, m is equal to 3a p over x, and this is square root. Okay, for this one, we need to make x the subject. Okay, to do that, what we need to do is we need to bring x to the other side. Okay, we want to change the house. So First and foremost, what we need to do, we need to remove the root. How are we going to do that? Okay, remember, a root, to eliminate the root, we can actually square it, because when you have root to the power of 2, it just means 2. Alright? Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so m is equals to 3a p over x. Okay, and we want to square the whole equation. So let's do a square here and also a square here. Okay, because if you square the one side, you also need to square the other. So the equation would be m squared equals to, this one is 9a squared, and this is just going to be p over x. Okay, now let's move x to the other side. So it's going to be m squared x equals to 9a squared p. Now, to know x, okay, m squared x, this is actually here, it's a small multiply. Okay, we just don't write the multiply over there. So what we need to do is to divide it. Okay, so x is going to be 9a squared p over m squared. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, so you know the how to do it. Okay, remember about this point over here, because it's quite important. This is quite new for you. Okay, so with that, can you do exercises in your textbook? Exercise 11.12 and 11.13. Do the middle. And for exercise 11.14, you need to do question 1 and question number 2 only. Okay, now let's go to the next subtopic, which is the simplifying. Simplifying algebraic fractions. Okay. There is no difference if we are dealing with either it's algebraic functions, or even fractions generally. So I'll give you an example. Okay, let's say if we have 3 over 4 times 5 over 7. Okay, so what we should do here, we just need to multiply 3 by 5, so that's 15. And then we also need to multiply 4 and 7. So multiply that, you'll get 28. Now, let's see if we have A over B multiply C over D. So this is actually going to be AC over BD. Simple enough? Okay, quite simple. Okay, let's do some examples. Okay, let's say if we have an expression, let's say PQ square R to the power 4 over P square Q3R. Okay, so what we can actually do is just cancel out the same unknowns. Okay, just like if you have 2 over 4, okay, we can just simplify that 1 over 2. So this is the same thing that we're doing. Okay, so let's start with P. So we have 2P here down here, so we can actually just cancel out that. And then let's see about Q. We have Q square and then Q cubed. So we have 2Q here and only which leaves us with only one cube. How about R? R is one there, and it's going to be 3. So the answer here would be R cube over P cube. Okay. Now, what if we have 8 over x times x over 4? Okay, now if we have this, okay, simple enough. It's just like your usual fraction. What you need to do is just to cancel out. So this is going to be 2. 1, 1, 1, 2 times 1 is 1. Answer is 2. Simple enough. Very, very simple. Okay. Even if you have, let's do one example, one more example. 3b cubed over 2 divided by 4b squared over 3. So if you want to tackle this question, okay, simple. It's just like any other fractions. 3b cubed over 2. This is a divide, so you need to make it a reciprocal. 3 over 4b squared. Okay, we can't cancel anything out. Only we can cancel this. Okay, because here we have b squared and there we have b cubed. So which leaves us with only b. So the answer we have here is going to be 9b over 8. Okay, simple enough. Okay, so with that, can you do exercises 11.15 and do the right hand side? Sorry, left side. Okay, so how about if we have addition? Addition or subtraction? Okay, again, it's quite simple. It's just like your usual fractions. Okay, what you need to do is to make sure that the denominator is always the same. Okay, that's the rule for fractions. Okay, let's do an example. Okay, let's say if we have, let's say 3x over 4 minus 2x over 12. Okay, so how can we do this? Okay, make sure you know the lowest common multiple. Okay, so 4 and 12, the lowest common multiple is 12. So what you need to do is just multiply this by 3 and multiply this by 3, which you're gonna make this equation 9x over 12 minus 2x over 12. Then you can do as usual, 9x minus 2x is 7x, and that's over 12. Okay, simple enough, just like your any usual fraction. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say if we have 4m minus 3p over 9p. Okay, we need to make sure the denominator is the same. So what we need to do is to multiply this by 3. Okay, so it's going to be 4 times 3 is 12m over 9p minus 3m over 9p. So then we do as usual, 12m minus 3m. This is 9m over 9p. Now, here we can actually see, we can actually still simplify it. Okay, because you have 9 at the front, down here is on 9, so we can just cancel that out. So it will become m over p. Okay, now what if we have two different denominators? Okay, let's say if we have 3r minus r over 5, oh sorry, 3 over 3r over 5 minus r over 2. Okay, so the lowest common multiple of this is 10. Okay, so we need to do multiply that by 2, multiply by 5. So we should get 6r minus 5r over 10. Let me just like write like that, so it's much easier for you to know. Because 6r minus 5r, this is just r over 10. So that's your answer. Okay, now what if we have something a bit different? Let's say if we have 2m minus m over 2. So again, this is just like any other fraction. So what we need to do is we need to make this have a denominator of 2. So which means that we need, let me try this color, make this over 2. So we need to multiply that by 2 as well. Okay, so this equation is going to be 4m over 2 minus m over 2. Okay, simple enough. Then you do this, you will get 3m over 2. Okay. Same goes if we are dealing with let's say we have a over b plus a. Okay, so we need to make this over here denominator must be b. So we can put over b and also multiply this by b as well. Okay, so this equation is going to be a over b plus, here we are multiplying a and b over b. So this here is going to be a b over b. Okay, which makes this equation to be a plus ab over b. Okay, this is equation, actually you can still simplify this, okay, by factorizing a outside, a plus b over b. Okay, okay, good. So with that, okay, can you do exercises 11.16 and also exercise 11.17? Okay, for this one, please do the right hand side. Right side. Okay, so that is your homework for your offline classes. I'll see you guys in the online classes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.